Joe Rogan just torched millions of his fans for not getting due process.
So the overcorrection is lack of due process. The overcorrection is like round them all up, ship them to jail. Like that's like some things that you say when you're not thinking things through. Like, what do you do about all the criminals? Take them all, fucking send them to El Salvador.
Yeah.
What about due process? No, fuck that. But here's the problem with fuck that. What if you are an enemy of, let's not say any current president. Let's pretend we got a new president, totally new guy in 2028. This is a common practice now of just rounding up gang members with no due process and shipping them to El Salvador. You're a gang member. No, I'm not. Prove it. What? I got to go to court. No, no due process. That's dangerous. We got to be careful that we don't become monsters while we're fighting monsters.
My video the other day suggesting that Kilmar Abrego Garcia was entitled to due process was pushed out to thousands of MAGA followers who insisted that only U.S. citizens are entitled to due process. Well, here's what the Constitution says. No state shall deprive any person of life, liberty, or property without due process of law. That means all persons within the jurisdiction of a state are entitled to due process of law regardless of their citizenship status. I was called a commie libtard traitor for suggesting that Kilmar was entitled to due process. Well, the other libtard traitors who agree with me are the current 9 members of the mostly conservative Supreme Court, conservative Reagan-appointed Judge J. Harvey Wilkinson of the Fourth Circuit Court of Appeals, who just wrote in a scathing order directed at the Trump administration, quote, "The government asserts that Abrego Garcia is a terrorist and a member of MS-13. Perhaps, but perhaps not. Regardless, he is entitled to due process." And to the thousands of my new MAGA viewers who insist Kilmar, quote, already got due process twice, due process is not a vaccination that you get once or twice and it lasts a lifetime. Abrego Garcia, like anyone with a withholding of removal order, cannot be deported until that withholding of removal order is removed by a judge. That means, you guessed it, due process. To all my new MAGA viewers, please subscribe. We need to engage in healthy, informed debate. And now that you have learned that non-citizens are entitled to due process and that people with a current withholding of removal order are also entitled to due process, please tell me why Abrego Garcia should not be entitled to due process. And for anyone who says he's a terrorist and his knuckle tattoos prove it, take a look at this. That is clearly a doctored photo, and it's an embarrassment that our president would present such pathetic, quote, evidence against a man who is innocent until proven guilty. And to those of you who keep pointing out a domestic violence complaint from 6 years ago, that is not proof of terrorism either. And for those of you who say Maryland Senator Chris Van Hollen is a traitor, take a look at this. I'm not defending this man. I'm defending the rights of this man to due process. MAGA, please subscribe. Our country needs meaningful, informed debate. Look, we all say we love America, but what does that mean? We either love the separation of powers that our government is based on and which allows the rule of law to survive, or we want the concentration of power in one branch, and that is monarchy. So MAGA, do you love America or monarchy? And if you want monarchy, just say so, but be honest and stop saying you love America, because America was founded in order to free itself from monarchy. Share, like, repost, and comment. Personal attacks will be deleted, unless they're hilarious. In that case, they will be screenshotted and then deleted. Keep the discussion informed and respectful. America deserves no less.